Okay, I feel like this is a Marvel game that nobody talks about. All over the internet, you hear people talk about Spider-Man, the Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, but strangely, not this game.
I get it. I mean, not everybody has a VR headset, and having one is kind of like being in an exclusive club, but I will be damned if this club doesn't have some pretty badass perks.
Ever since Iron Man had his first flight in 2008, I think everyone and their mothers would have sacrificed their third born for a chance to fly in that armor for just 5 minutes.
Lord knows I did.
I can't believe this is the first standalone game for the Armored Avenger in 18 years!
Bro, the Invincible Iron Man was awesome. So my older brother actually had this game, and I think I remember stealing it from him a few times. All I really remember was playing that first level more times than Dr. House diagnosed someone with lupus.
Iron Man is arguably the face of Marvel as much as Spider-Man is. When you think of this franchise, you usually think of Iron Man. It's weird to think that there is more games for Batman and even Superman than there is for Iron Man. They usually just time up with the Avengers, and it makes sense. Avengers sells more as a whole than the individual members combined, so why would they take a risk in making less money when they could obviously make more? But what better way to give Iron Man his own video game than in virtual reality? Once I heard about Iron Man VR, I thought it was perfect.
It's like Halo on the Xbox, it just fits.
With all of this being said, how is Iron Man VR? Does it make you feel like Iron Man? Let's find out.
But before we get into that, dudes and dudettes, be sure to click that like and subscribe button, and let me know down in the comments section below what are some other games I should check out. I'm always trying to look at new games, and right now I want to do that same thing for you. For my next video, I want to talk about my favorite shooters on the Nintendo Switch. I've been getting really into them with Halo Infinite and that new Fortnite Battle Pass that we got where you can play as Spider-Man. Tell me why of all games, Fortnite has better web swinging than Marvel's Avengers. To be honest, I'll probably never stop talking about Marvel's Avengers. It's just kind of here to stay. But that game got me a ton of views, so everyone who supported that video, thank you so much, I really appreciate it. Anyway guys, back to the review.
Virtual reality is such a different beast compared to the traditional way of gaming. Immersion is easily the #1 thing that they cannot mess up here. When you move your arm, you need to see it move with you. The character's eyes that you're looking at need to always be looking at you, and you need to feel like you are the main character, because if you don't, you're gonna feel completely disconnected and it's gonna take you out of that experience.
From what I've played of VR games, which is very little, Iron Man excels here. I think the main reason why we have Iron Man VR now is because of that one first-person Avengers game from like 10 years ago.
The only time I felt like I had a trip up in the VR experience was when the PlayStation Eye camera was at a weird angle. But other than that, everything felt great. When you're playing as Iron Man, you really feel like you're Iron Man. Switching to the auxiliary weapons, firing your repulsor blasts, just flying in general. Every part of the controls here just makes sense. This feels exactly the way Iron Man would do it.
What surprised me the most was that I didn't get real motion sickness here. I'd only play at most like 1.5 hours at a time, but I never felt like, oh, I'm gonna throw up. I'm someone who can't even be in someone's passenger seat, so that's big praise.
I found myself doing one too many superhero poses from time to time. Doing all of these commands just felt so natural, you don't even need a tutorial.
The way that it feels to web swing in Insomniac's Spider-Man is exactly how it feels to fly in Iron Man VR.
Camoflaj tailor-made Iron Man to the PlayStation Move controls perfectly. I couldn't imagine this game on Switch VR.
Mainly because it's garbage, or even the Oculus.
There's a part of me that wants it to stay exclusive to the PlayStation VR, because I fear it'd ruin the experience, or wouldn't be as good on other platforms.
Although I would love to see you try.
You have loadouts for your suit, so you can play in very different ways, but I was fine with just sticking with one. With these loadouts, you can easily upgrade and swap your tech. One arm could have repulsor blasts, while the other is a continuous repulsor beam. You could change the power you have on your jet boots, swap out the different auxiliary weapons, and even change the skin you have on your armor.
Why would a VR game have different skins? You only really see your arms. And why are these skins better than anything Square Enix's Avengers offers?
Okay, I don't know what it is, but Marvel Games honestly does a far better job with the stories than Marvel Studios.
How could you let me down?
They also have like an 8-hour runtime as opposed to 2 hours, so that kind of makes sense. Of course, here we got Tony Stark, Pepper Potts, Director Fury, Agent Hill, and Friday. But there seems to be no love for James Rhodes, and that really bummed me out. I would have loved to play as War Machine.
I get it would have felt exactly the same as Iron Man, but I still would have loved to do it.
There are references to AIM, Oscorp, and other Marvel corporations, but they're throwaway lines most of the time, and they don't really do much in the overall plot here. The main
And only.
villains here are Ghost and Living Laser.
Somehow less villains here than in Avengers, but done better, kinda?
But the real main villain here is Gunsmith, a brand new AI character created by the devs that ends up tricking Ghost into killing Tony Stark and even funding the operation as well. Gunsmith is the narcissistic, evil side of Tony Stark that's cranked up all the way to 11.
He even has his final form in the superior Iron Man armor.
Ghost, on the other hand, starts off really cool. She's mysterious, wanting Tony Stark to pay for his crimes and murders caused by the weapons he designed. Unfortunately, they don't do much with this. She's just a cog in the machine, really. Most of the game revolves around her, so why they didn't do something more dramatic with her is beyond me. That's like having Abomination really be the mastermind all along in Avengers. She talks about those who have died because of Stark, but you are only really told this rather than shown. Living Laser pops up in a few levels, and he's a fun villain, so yeah, may technically have the same amount of villains as in Avengers, but having a brand new character that's pretty fun and engaging and being in VR gives it a pass.
Take it. It's yours.
And the villains are actually really interesting. You can feel the vendetta that Ghost has against Stark and see how the gunsmith was using her for his own gain. It's just a shame that you don't really see why her vendetta is so personal for her. Living Laser feels similar to how he's done in Armored Avenger, so you know it's gonna be great here. I kind of predicted Gunsmith's true villainy from the beginning, but it was still interesting to see.
The entire theme of the game here is owning up to your mistakes and your past sins and doing right by them and trying to become a better person. Not much Cape Media really does this, so I really appreciate them trying.
It's kind of brought home when you have the final battle with Gunsmith in the original Mark I armor. One of the first things you might notice about Iron Man is his voice. That's right, dudes and dudettes, we got Josh Keaton, Leisure Suit Larry himself.
Let's see. Find two hot movie starlets and talk them into posing for some raunchy shutterbuggery. Welcome to Poonstone, population 70. Make that 69. Oh yeah.
He also did this really small role, I don't think you've heard of it, the Spectacular Spider-Man.
The King himself plays two roles here, Tony Stark Iron Man and the Gunsmith. Even though they're essentially the same character, they're different in many ways, and Keaton does a great job at bouncing off of himself.
It just sounds dirty.
While the scenes aren't Ship of Theseus level of iconic, they're still fun to be a part of. So VR games are in a strange aspect ratio. It's just to mesh with the headset. Sometimes things on the edge of your vision get blurry. And I want to say they should have made some of the HUD a bit more clear while you're playing, but I think that's just the VR headset itself. The designs and art style look great on that PlayStation VR headset, by the way. Ghost and Living Laser have a great updated design. Ghost has been completely revamped since Armored Adventures. Iron Man also looks so sick. It's a design completely unique to this game, and it's instantly recognizable. I really like the way they designed the armor here. It's one of my favorite modern Iron Man armors. It's sleek, powerful, and iconic. Exactly everything Iron Man should be. Friday and Gunsmith both do a great job in their roles. If Friday was replaced with Jarvis, I think it'd be a totally different experience. She acts as your confidant. When no one is there for you, Friday is there. The sound design here is also really good. Nothing sounds out of place. I don't hear the repulsor blast or the jet boots and think it belongs elsewhere. The earbuds that are attached to the PlayStation VR headset are a must to have on. It makes you feel like you're truly there, especially during some of the moments with Ghost. She can be literally anywhere, so it makes those encounters with her feel truly haunting.
The only thing that I think is weird is just the different armor reskins. Like, it makes sense because it's a comic book game, but you're in VR and you can only see your arms.
The level design here gets kind of repetitive, like Assassin's Creed 1 repetitive. But I think it works. You either start off flying or on top of a building, you fight some enemies, fly around, discover some info on Ghost, get scared shitless by Ghost, probably fight Ghost or Living Laser, and then level ends. It gets a bit redundant, but it's just fun.
And don't act like you don't. I know you want to play this.
It feels kind of shallow when you see the levels have this matte painting for backgrounds and invisible walls around, but it is virtual reality, so it does get a pass. Each level usually starts off and ends with Tony monologuing about the mission and what he learned. Later, you find out he's actually talking his problems out with a therapist.
You love to see the characters you adore try to take care of their mental health. I think Tony Stark definitely needs it the most. Or Moon Knight. Yeah, definitely Moon Knight.
But the coolest thing is how each level starts off with a suit up.
Oh, that's nice.
You're going to be playing in some of the same levels a few times, like the helicarrier, Tony's beach house, and whatever desert they plop you in, but they're well paced enough to not feel like you're constantly in the same area over and over again. If you're a Marvel fan, PlayStation is where it's at. Spider-Man, Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Iron Man VR. Lately, we've been in a renaissance for comic book games, and it's awesome.
Let's get like Marvel on PlayStation and DC on Xbox. I mean, Microsoft did buy WB Interactive over the summer, so that's not totally out of the realm of possibility. Let's give Switch like Image or TWD.
Iron Man VR does have some shortcomings, but I think it's more excusable than not because it is a VR experience. It's still new tech that developers are still trying to work out, and I think the guys at Camoflaj did a great job here. They want to do a sequel, and honestly, I'd love to see them do it. Maybe seeing a redemption arc for Ghost, or villains like Whiplash, the Mandarin, Ironmonger, Madame Mask would be legendary.
Oh, I almost forgot. There's no DLC here. What you pay for here is what you get, and I kind of respect that. And it's only like $50, so you don't feel like you're getting ripped off. And whatever this game lacks, it makes up for in spades with great immersion, great characters, and great gameplay. Anyway, dudes and dudettes, I hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to click that like and subscribe button, and let me know down in the comment section below, what is your favorite VR game? Of course, I love Iron Man VR. This is probably my favorite, but also Vader Immortal, Beat Saber, Spider-Man Far From Home VR experience are incredible. If you get the chance, please try them out. You'll definitely like it. Anyway, dudes and dudettes, you're never too old or too cool to play video games. Major Pineapple out.